If you have a dodgy lower back and think that you can't perform any challenging core strengthening exercises, then think again. In this video, I'll be going over some incredibly challenging yet very spine-friendly exercises that you can try if you're interested in strengthening the deep core muscles around your torso and lower spine. Now, they require no equipment and they can be great for rehabbing certain lower back injuries, preventing lower back pain, or just for a solid core workout. So let's get to it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Alright, so these spine-friendly exercises that we're getting into here are some of my favorite exercises that I give to my patients when they need some core strengthening while also needing to be mindful of the pain or overall condition that they have with their lower back. Now, back pain sucks, and my passion is helping others overcome their physical limitations, so it's an honor to share with you what I can if it helps you on your journey to becoming pain-free and stronger overall. So if you're looking to strengthen your core muscles but tend to experience back pain with traditional, more commonly known exercises such as sit-ups or other exercises like the Russian twist, then those exercises simply aren't going to cut it. Now, generally speaking, this is because they tend to involve a lot of movement of the joints in the lower back or flexion of the spine, either of which can become irritating or painful to the joints and the discs in the region, especially if they're not super healthy to begin with. And even if you don't have back pain with core exercises that demand larger movements from the spine, incorporating the exercises in this video can be a great way to ensure that your lower back stays healthy, strong, and pain-free. And I will forewarn you, these exercises are incredibly deceptive in terms of how challenging they are, so don't knock them until you try them. But do make sure that they are appropriate for you to try before doing so. Now, I've got timestamps set up if you want to jump right to the exercises, but a super quick rundown of why these exercises are so spine-friendly and effective is likely a good idea here. So each one of these exercises works by increasing the amount of tension or rigidity around the spine, creating a bracing effect for the spine and overall midsection of the body. One of the key muscles we're going after here is a muscle called the transversus abdominis, which is the deepest abdominal muscle of them all. We're also getting to some deep spinal muscles here, such as the multifidus muscles, but I won't focus on those muscles too much within this video. Now, without getting into too much detail here, there is a lot of literature that shows the relationship between impaired or weak transversus abdominis function or multifidus weakness and various forms of lower back pain. So if you've been told that you need to strengthen your core to help eliminate your lower back pain, these exercises can really help with doing so. Needless to say, these exercises are going to target these muscles along with your oblique muscles as well. Now, we're not getting much of the traditional six-pack muscles here, but rather all of the muscles directly underneath them, which are all much more highly implicated with issues involving lower back pain, impaired spinal mobility, and thus spine health. Now, for all the exercises in this video, you must make sure that your lower back is not arched. Rather, it needs to be gently pressing into the floor or the surface that you're laying on. If you let your back arch at any point, these exercises won't be very challenging or effective. So before you start each exercise, gently roll your hips backwards so that you feel your lower back gently press into the floor and then hold it there for the entirety of the exercise. All right, exercise 1. Lay on your back with your lower back pressed into the ground. This is called the tabletop position. From here, lift your legs as if you're bringing your knees towards your chest. Place your hands on your knees, and from here, aggressively push your hands down while continuing to pull up with your knees. This creates what's known as an isometric contraction. Hold this contraction for a couple of seconds and then relax for a couple of seconds and then repeat. You should feel rather tired by about 10 or so repetitions. And remember, the harder you press, the more challenging these exercises are going to be. Now, if you press hard enough, you'll likely start shaking like a paint mixer, just like I'm doing here while performing this exercise and the other ones to come. Now, if you are finding these exercises to be more challenging than you might have imagined, let me know in the comments below, as it'll help to remind me that I'm not the only one who underestimated these exercises when first learning them some years ago. All right, exercise number 2. Now we're going to build off of exercise number 1 by putting some limb movement into the equation while still requiring the back and core muscles to brace and remain stable throughout the movement. So get into the tabletop position, but this time cross your arms. Take your bottom arm and press it aggressively into your opposite knee. While holding this pressure, take your free hand and arm and slowly move them away from one another. Go as far as you can without letting your lower back lift off the ground. Return to the starting position and repeat for as many repetitions as you can. Then switch your arms and repeat with the opposite limbs. This exercise is outstanding for targeting the core and obliques in a very functional pattern, specifically by working the obliques in what we call a sling pattern. All right, exercise number 3. This is the same idea as the last exercise, but this time you won't be crossing your arms. As a result, you'll be targeting the core muscles off to one side, which we call an ipsilateral contraction. Again, the slower you go on the movement, the more challenging and effective this exercise tends to be. And last but not least, I have a bonus exercise for you called the wall bug. Now, the wall bug is a variation of a more commonly known exercise called the dead bug. And the dead bug is no doubt a great exercise, but I find that the wall bug tends to create a more palpable sense of tension and effort around the midsection. So find a wall and lay with your head a couple of inches away from it. Next, press your hands firmly into the wall. Flatten out your lower back as with all the other exercises, and then either alternate lifting your legs off the floor or lift them both at the same time. Alternating tends to be easier while the double leg is generally more challenging. The key here is not to lift your thighs until they're perpendicular with the ground. Doing so gives your muscles a bit of a break and makes the exercise less effective. Instead, just lift them off until they're just a bit less than perpendicular, which forces the deep muscles to stay active throughout the entire movement. All right, everyone, so if you found this video to be useful, helpful, or informative in any sort of way, please consider hitting that like button. That would mean a lot to me. And again, I want to hear how these exercises go for you, if they are appropriate for you to try. So let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I'm not the only one who really gets lit up by these things when doing them. All right, everyone, so you know how it goes. Keep looking after yourselves, keep looking after one another, keep making great things happen, and I will see you in the next video.